What's the dumbest thing you got in trouble for in school? Break dancing. I was spinning on my head in between class in the halls, and they wrote "spinning on his head like Michael Jackson." My family lost it when they read the referral note. I remember Mom saying, "He never spun on his head. Did he?" Honestly, that's an amazing thing to get in trouble for. His breakdancing skills were too great, and had to be removed from the premises. In second grade, a boy who didn't like me told the teacher that I was taking rocks out my pockets and throwing them at him during recess. I get brought to the principal's office and told to apologize to him, where I started crying and showed them I didn't even have pockets, I was wearing leggings. I still had to apologize. That's dumb. So effing dumb. Same kid later found out I got a Sega for Christmas and pretended to be my friend so he could come over and play Sonic and not talk to me the whole time he was at my house. Luke, I still remember how poopy you were. Wearing shoes without laces. They were closed toe, but apparently they must also lace. I got sent home for not having laces. My school had a no-touching policy, so I got in trouble for hugging my best friend in the hallway. Okay, I thought I had heard everything when it comes to weird rules, but what kind of hell do you live in that touching each other is forbidden? Literally looking at someone. Apparently it was aggressive. Last year in the cafeteria I was lined up to buy pizza and my vice principal was selling it. I gave my money, took my pizza and left. Later on in the day I get called into the office and he said he didn't feel respected by me because I never said please or thank you, and got a 3-day suspension. What the F? My teacher sent me to the principal's office for saying SHT. I was trying to say sit. I had a speech impediment. I was arrested my senior year of high school and expelled for giving a kid my body spray. During my senior year of high school I gave this kid a bottle of my body spray. He used it to light a sweatshirt on fire in the girls' locker room after school one day. The kid who lit the shirt on fire told one of his friends afterward. Well, his friend snitched. We had security cameras in the school, so the security guards played back the tape from that day and saw me giving the kids my body spray earlier in the day. I was removed from class the following day, arrested in the front of the school, and sent to a juvenile detention center for a week. I was charged with second-degree arson because I was considered an accomplice. I was expelled from school, forced to take court-mandated burn victim classes, and had to see a court-ordered therapist for a few months. They also put me on house arrest for 60 days. Obviously, arson is a huge crime that shouldn't be taken lightly, but I thought my involvement was not worthy of the punishment received. Geez, I'd have thought a half-decent lawyer would have knocked that out the park and had you back in school by lunchtime. I had a stutter in middle school out of social anxiety. I couldn't speak very well when trying to get my point across or when I was on the spot. I remember stuttering during a conversation and then correcting myself. I said he, ss she, I mean she, in a conversation with other students. I got called into the principal's office and was suspended for 2 weeks for calling a girl a he/she, when she had nothing to do with the conversation we were talking about, to begin with. Sometimes I think about finding the man who was my principal during that time and telling him how much he made me suffer in middle school. I got suspended for wearing too much body spray when I had a body odor problem. I got suspended for accidentally knocking someone's shoes off of a table into the trash. I also got suspended numerous times. I defended myself from physical assault. I think the last time I got suspended was for calling out my science teacher for saying NASA wasn't real, and that we never landed on the moon. My response was, "My grandfather works for NASA though." The slip that I got for that suspension was causing a scene in class and lying about my grandfather working for NASA. The vice principal had already written it up before I entered the room, and he was looking at his computer the entire time I explained this to him. I later brought in a picture of my grandfather's page on NASA's very own website, and he wrote me a detention for provoking him. The most absurd and ludicrous person I have met to this day. Laughing at a teacher's joke too loudly. Got lunch detention for that. Dude. My teacher made a joke, everyone laughed but me. As people were calming down, I finally got the joke and laughed. I got detention. I asked how bananas reproduce. My teacher didn't find it appropriate. It was in biology class. It usually starts with a male banana telling a female banana a cheesy pickup line like, "Wow, you're quite appealing." My friend has diabetes, and when we were in school I sat next to him in class. He told me his blood sugar was really low and he felt faint. He didn't want to leave class, so I offered to give him my banana. So I gave it to him, and the teacher scolded me for taking out food in class. She sent me to the principal's office even after I told her the reason for it. The principal teacher just didn't care, and told me just chill here until the bell rings lol. I'll never know why Mrs. Henderson was so angry. Wearing colored socks. I got sent to the principal's office where they called my parents and asked them to get me a pair of white socks. Needless to say, my parents were both working, so I was stuck roaming around the school sockless. I told this before, high school late 90s, we just got the internet. This was the early days of the internet where any random or innocent search could still bring up porn. Well, it happened to me. Our history class had the computer lab. Porn came up on my screen, immediately sent to the office. They did not believe me that it was an accident, but I'd never been in trouble before. I was suspended the rest of the day. I just went home. Then it started happening to other students, teachers, then they finally put filters on the computers, but I was never apologized to. I had to sit in the office and have a conference with the dean and my parents, all because a girl slapped my ass. They said I had sexually harassed her. We didn't have video cameras at the time, but this D-head didn't believe me. The girl didn't say anything to the school until 3 days later when I got suspended. Edit, I realize I didn't say they were accusing me of smacking her ass. I got in trouble for saying out loud that I didn't like someone. Her friend overheard, told our teacher, and for the next 3 days we all had to spend our recess talking about why I didn't like that person. Because she makes a big deal out of silly things like this that cause everyone to miss out on recess. Hiccups. I got kicked out of class for having the hiccups and sent to the principal because apparently the teacher didn't believe I actually had the hiccups and thought I was just trying to distract the class. That happened to me. I was sent to the punishment corner box, cause my hiccups caused the kids to laugh in class. Once I got to the box, it stopped. She called my grandmother about it. I never get in trouble at school. I'm shy deaf girl who get bullied a lot. Given an after-school detention for whistling. I can't whistle. Reading a book. I would finish my work in class and pull out a book to read, and be told to put it away and lay my head down if I'm done. They would have rather me just lay my head down and stare at a wall than continue to learn through reading. A runner-up, my homework slipped off my desk and got sucked into one of those stupid huge air conditioner units. The teacher didn't believe me, so I had to stick my hand up the vent of this thing and try to fish it out. I have no idea how dangerous this was, but it doesn't seem like a good idea now. I managed to get it, and it was torn down the middle with a huge grease stain. He made me stay after class and redo it, and I narrowly avoided detention. All because a piece of paper slipped off my desk. 2 stories. This was actually my friend. In 6th grade I was on crutches and needed to use the elevator to get between floors. The rule was that only one person can go in the elevator with the person on crutches. 2 of my friends and I were walking to the elevator when my teacher was walking the other way. He said, "Remember, only one of you 2 can go with him." My other friend looked at the teacher, then jumped into the elevator. As the doors opened on the bottom floor, the teacher was standing there and took him to his office and gave him a detention. Story 2. In 5th grade my friend took a pen from my desk, so I asked him, "Can I have my pen back?" and my teacher went ballistic. "Why are you talking in class?" "Oh, I was just asking for my pen back." "No, you weren't, you were talking." My friend, "No, really, I took his pen and he asked for it back." That night my parents got an email saying that they needed to come in for a parent-teacher conference specifically about this incident. I had no previous incidents, so when the teacher told them this, they said how outrageous it was, and I got off without punishment. She's still my #1 least favorite teacher all time. Whack. Our school had this stupid rule where you weren't allowed to go to the bathroom during the last 5 minutes of class. Lo and behold, we're 5 minutes away from the bell when I suddenly break out in cold sweats, and I get that dreadful rumble in my guts. It's explosive diarrhea time. I asked to go to the toilet. Denied. I just yelled emergency and ran out of class. I got to the loo, did the patented move of rolling my pants down, transition into sitting down before losing 5 pounds in 15 seconds using this one simple trick. Doctors hate this guy. After cleaning up, I went back to collect my stuff from the classroom and to apologize to my teacher, but she had already written me up for it. Now, what makes this even stupider is that in my country, we start school at 7. We do 4 years of elementary school, 3 years of primary school, and 5 years of high school. This happened in my senior year. I was 19 years old. I was, by legal definition, a grown man. I wasn't going to SHT my pants because of a stupid 5-minute rule. Leaving the classroom to pee, because the teacher said no. Apparently he knew my body better than I did.